What's up, game boys and girls? Big T here, back with another video, and this video is not really a continuation, but it's a video, a topic that I kind of touched on before. Um, Speaking about the potential game that Bandai Namco is working on. The Basically, it's a Nintendo IP that's going to be remastered. We've kind of decided, or not decided, but come up on that information based on the fact that they're hiring, and the job listings suggested that it was a Nintendo IP that would be either remastered or continued in some way. And so there's been speculation in the community about what it could be. I've seen a bunch, mostly focus on a couple of Star Fox games, but I've seen other stuff as well. But I wanted to focus on those because I talked previously about remasters and how Nintendo is wasting the popularity of the Switch, and what could they potentially bring to the GameCube, or from the GameCube or from other platforms that maybe didn't do as well. So I want to talk about a few games here. First game that I'd like to talk about is another game that was kind of forgotten about or just came out really late, that had a lot of potential, I thought. And not just potential, but the game itself is fantastic, I think, and just kind of forgotten. And that game is Geist. Geist, I believe, was made by InSpace. I don't know if they exist anymore, probably not. But they were working on that game for the GameCube, and it came out, I think, in 2005, so like the last kind of year of the GameCube before the Wii hit the market. And again, I just think it got forgotten, and it is a fantastic game. There is I think it's not Did You Know? What's the What Happened? I think it's Matt. What is it? Matt McMuscles or something like that. He does videos like what happened to like certain games. Certain games didn't come out, or games came out and they were a disaster. The game wasn't a disaster. It came out. It was a good game. It was just a disaster as far as the sales went. Kind of got forgotten. And so that game, I think it was a timing thing. It came out. 360 had dropped. I believe the 360 was out at that point, or it was at least then people were saving for type of thing. And GameCube had already struggled to begin with, and so in 2005 it was barely even mentioned, or barely even played. So I really wish that Geist would have come out for Wii. I wish they would have saved it for Wii. It wouldn't have been a big thing to do to port it to Wii, because obviously GameCube games play beautifully on the Wii. So they did it with Twilight Princess. I wish, obviously Geist isn't a big franchise like Zelda is, but just to have another title, maybe it's just the logistics of what do we do as far as the controls go. I don't think it would have took too much. I don't think they probably would have been overthinking it as far as what they should do with the controls. But that game actually works really well with the kind of a pointer system. If you've played it, it will work really well for that, because you have to like possess objects and possess people at times, and just I think a pointer system would have worked really well with that game. So it would have translated really well to the Wii. So unfortunately, it didn't. It is a great game. I highly recommend it if you haven't played it. I don't think it's too expensive still. It might have gone up, I don't know, in the last year or so. I don't know. With the last couple of years of GameCube, prices is gone crazy. So it might have gone up, but that is a game that I would like to get a remaster and just get a second chance, because I think it would still do really well. If they can do a Star Wars Unleashed, we should be able to get Geist for Switch. But anyway, that's one. Another game. This is a game people talk about a lot, is Star Fox Adventures. Now I'm going to do a video on Star Fox Adventures because I'm trying to. I want to pin down what people love about Star Fox Adventures, because a buddy of mine, Rob Rula 2, I think he really likes that game, and I haven't really heard him talk. I mean, it's probably my own fault. He probably talked about it in the video. I probably just missed it. So I haven't really heard him talk about what he really likes about that game. I think a lot of people dismiss criticisms of that game because they think it's Star Fox fans not liking that it's a Star Fox game, and I completely disagree with that. Actually, the Star Fox stuff in the game is a problem. I think it should have just left that stuff out. But again, I'm going to have a focused video on that, so stay tuned. But a lot of people have been talking about that. I'm not sure why that's been a game that's mentioned. Not sure why. Technically, the game is great. It ran at 60 frames, I believe. And like the fur effects and all that kind of stuff is really fantastic. The water, I remember being a standout thing. Is a very nice looking game for sure. I actually did kind of a comparison between that and the original Dinosaur Planet, which is what it was called. If you guys didn't know, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you do. And I'll talk about that more in the more focused Star Fox Adventures video. So, again, stay tuned for that. So, I don't think it's going to be that. I'm not really looking forward to that, if that would be the thing. And I'm not sure why there's so much kind of fervor around that title specifically. I'm not sure where it's coming from. And the final one, well, it's not the only one. I'm sure there's others I haven't really paid attention to. But the biggest one for me is Star Fox Assault. And it makes the most sense because, well, Namco developed Star Fox Assault for the GameCube. So a remaster of that would be right up Bandai Namco. Was wheelhouse. Back then it was just Namco. Or Namco. And before Bandai acquired them. So it would make a lot of sense. They already have familiarity with the game. For that game specifically, I wouldn't want just a remaster, a up-resed remaster. I would like to see them like revamp things, revamp the controls, even mess around with the gameplay elements to some extent, as far as like the level design and whatnot. Because that game, again, it's another game that came out late. I want to say it was 2004. That game came out, but it did do 1 million copies of, I believe. It did sell 1 million, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like there is a 1 million seller. When Nintendo games on the GameCube sold 1 million, it was like the yellow label that everybody loves, and they got the 1 million seller. I think that was one of them. I'm not sure, but I feel like it did sell 1 million copies. But anyway, that is a game I think has a lot of potential. That is where Star Fox should have gone. Unfortunately, Nintendo has just been kind of trying to respark the rekindle Star Fox 64, which I believe is the best Star Fox, and a lot of people do, not just me. I think they're just kind of rekindle that flame, unfortunately. And Star Fox Assault was an evolution of Star Fox 64. It added more story elements, more characters. Crystal was introduced to that game, but she actually was from Star Fox, or she was from Dinosaur Planet, which became Star Fox Adventures, and that was a game where she was a big NPC in the game. And speaking of which, I would like there to be more playable characters, because you have so many characters. It'd be nice to be able to play as other Star Fox characters. So yeah, that's the kind of way I would want them to go. And I'm hoping that is the game that is going to get the remaster, because I love Star Fox. I would love to see Star Fox again, especially on the Switch. Again, with me, I kind of talked about in the previous video wasted potential, the wasted popularity of the Nintendo Switch, where they could take these IPs that don't sell as well, like your Star Foxes, like your F-Zeros, and they're going to sell 1 million plus copies easy on the Nintendo Switch, because fans are going to be hype for a new game in that series, and the Nintendo Switch is a hype console, right? So I would love to see that, and I'd love to see like I said, these changes. I love the fact that you could run around on foot, hop into your Landmaster, and then even hop into an R-Wing, I think that is very cool. That is the elements that I like. The problem with Star Fox Assault specifically is that those elements didn't control very well, and so they need to revamp the controls for the on-foot stuff. Even Landmaster was a little wonky to control, I thought, in that game. Not terrible, but they need to revamp the controls for the on-foot stuff and make it more fun. Like, that's one of the things I saw in Starlink was that, man, this would be really cool if I can get out of my ship and run around into these little bases. You have these little base areas everywhere, all over the planet. And they would be really conducive to you being able to run around instead of just having to fly your R-Wing into buildings. It was, to me, that was clunky. That was the clunkiest part of that game. I loved pretty much everything else in it, but it would make way more sense if I could hop out of my R-Wing and go into buildings like that. And also, maybe, because Star Fox Zero introduced like transformations, maybe the R-Wing transforms into a Landmaster, right? That would be cool. That's something they should do. And the R-Wing transforms into a Blue Marine, which is a submarine. So you get to these bodies of water on the planet, and you want to explore under it, and the only way to do that is to transform your R-Wing into a Blue Marine and then explore the underwater stuff. That is cool. That is where Star Fox needs to evolve to, because it has cool gadget vehicles and interesting, fun, cartoon characters, and that's what Nintendo just doesn't seem to understand where it should evolve to. And I say stuff like Starlink and Star Fox Assault is where that should happen. Is where the evolution should happen with Star Fox. So that's what I would want Bandai Namco to be working on: Star Fox Assault with some revamped controls and whatnot, maybe some like new levels and whatnot. That would be great. Levels that would involve like the Blue Marine, like I was saying, and transformations. I don't know if they would go that deep, but maybe in a new Star Fox game they could do that. But yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys' ideas are. Do you have any ideas for what Nintendo should be putting out there to, for another company to remaster? Bandai Namco to remaster. Do you have any ideas for that? Do you like my Star Fox Assault idea? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching and listening, and I'll see you fools next time. Peace out.